Congratulations, guys, on winning Analyst Choice Fund Company of the Year. So, year after year, Mawer is always recognized for their excellent corporate culture. So why don't we start with Michael, and you can tell me why corporate culture is so important to you.
Sure. Investing is really, really hard. And if anybody ever tells anybody anything different, they're wrong about that. It's really, really hard. So to do it well, you need people who are working collaboratively as a team, because a team will always do better than one individual. So we aim really high in everything we do. We work very collaborative in what we do. And the phrase from our founder, Chuck Mawer, is we try to always do the right thing for our clients, how we invest, and how we treat each other.
Well, I think it's very important to us, and the one thing I'd add is that we invest a lot of time in continuing to build our culture, not being complacent with where we are, because culture is something that you can put a lot of time into building, and it can deteriorate very quickly. So we do invest the time with people, and we do retreats, something that we think is very important, one of our competitive advantages.
Oh, and maybe just add, the team's so important. There's an old tale about a frog that wanted to fly. And so the frog approaches a couple of geese and says, well, I want to fly. I want to fly south for the winter. And the geese were a little skeptical at first. And the frog said, well, if you just would put a stick in between your beaks, and I'll latch on to the middle of that stick with my mouth, and we could fly. Let's try this. And so sure enough, the trio begins to fly. And a bystander watching this looks up and says, splendid, that's just absolutely marvelous. And he says, who could be responsible? Whose idea? It's such a clever idea, whoever came up with this. And the frog, just thinking more about himself, opened his mouth and said, it was I, as he plummeted down to the earth. So it's not about one person, it's our team, and that's what makes our culture so strong.
So I'm sure you guys know that you received a stewardship grade of A from our analysts, and one thing they say is that you guys eat your own cooking. So how important is it to you to have managers' interests aligned with investors? And I'll start with Michael for this one.
Sure, very important. And investing has a lot of risk, and we do whatever we can to have some upside for our clients, but also take the risk out of it. And there's nothing like having your own money on the table. We're an independent firm owned by people who work at the firm. Our own money's on the table, and we invest in our own funds.
Well, I think the only thing I would add to what Michael said is, well, how can we expect other people, other hardworking people, to give us their money to manage if we're not willing to put our own skin in the game? So that's another way that we look at it, is that there is that alignment, and it's important.
Anything you wanted to add?
Well, maybe one additional comment in that, in addition to all that, when you have family members and friends' money invested, it even ups the game, one step further. It's not even the amount. There's your pride and your reputation is on the line. So you definitely get that alignment there.
Okay, great. So Paul and I talked a little bit earlier. You guys are really expanding. I think your assets under management have tripled in the last 5 years. So just for investors that maybe didn't see that last video, is this something they should be concerned about? Or is there or how are you guys dealing with the rapidly increasing assets?
Yeah. It really allows us, our growth, just to keep adding depth. So I think it actually allows us to keep being better at what we do. We invest globally. It's a big world out there, so it takes a lot of focus and a lot of people to do that well. So I think that really helps us do that.
Okay, great. So for fans of Mawer, it's almost 2014. What should investors expect? I'll go around the circle first.
I think they're going to expect more of the same thing from us. It just be boring, make money. So it's sticking to the investment process.
Well, Paul took what I was going to say. I was going to say we're just going to keep doing what we've been doing because it's been working for since 1974. So we don't see any real reason why we should change, and we'll keep doing what we do on the investment side. We'll keep building the culture and building depth, as Michael said, within the team.
Absolutely, doing things our way. We are an independent firm. We have a strong independent streak. And I think that's one of the things that makes it a really fun place to be, and a place to be creative, and a place to be the best investment professionals we can be. So I think look forward to more of that in 2014.
Great. Thanks so much, guys, and congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.